This is Ephebopus rufescens. It's a tarantula that lives both in burrows in the ground as well as on cliff faces and in trees. And it's a new species.
Rick helped identify this tarantula on an earlier trip. But now he's looking for Goliaths, so he puts this one back, while he continues his search. Tarantulas are able to walk on cave walls, climb trees, and apparently defy gravity because of a unique adaptation on their legs. We can see it with an electron microscope, a pair of tiny hooks at the tips. These allow the spider to walk on almost any surface and grip onto the slightest irregularity. Which is why some tarantulas do their hunting up in the trees. Their diet is usually limited to insects, but an arboreal tarantula, like this pink toe, is always on the lookout for any sort of prey.
Them.
Picking up minute vibrations through its sensitive leg hairs, the tarantula closes in on a nest full of unsuspecting chicks. It pumps in venom, immobilizing its prey. The venom also dissolves the internal organs, so the spider can suck up the contents. The venom is lethal on small prey, but for larger animals like humans, it's not much worse than a bee sting. There's never been a single confirmed human death from a tarantula bite. In a couple of hours, the spider will finish its gruesome meal and head back to its burrow. Like all tarantulas, the pink toe is a tenacious predator, but Rick West is on the hunt for Goliaths, and finding one in this dense jungle won't be easy. If Rick finally locates a Goliath, he'll face a whole new set of dangers. The Goliath has other weapons besides fangs. A tarantula's body is covered with hairs, but it's the ones on the abdomen, the urticating hairs, that you have to watch out for. When it's threatened, the spider can launch these tiny barbed projectiles, and they cause painful irritation, sticking to the skin or the nasal passages of any animal that gets too close. As night falls on the rainforest, Rick's search for the Goliath continues. For Rick, nighttime is the right time to be in the jungle.
Jungle at night, it's something where it's electric for me. You go into the jungle and you hear little noises, skitters in the leaf litter, and I'm telling you, it's a rush.
After searching most of the night, Rick finally finds what he's looking for, the Goliath.
This is a beautiful female. She is a monster. This is Theraphosa blonda. It's the world's largest tarantula and the world's largest spider. She's going to have a leg span of about 10 inches across. Just have to slow her down here. Unless you really do something to injure it or to scare it, they'll just walk on you. I'm not frightened at all by having a spider that size on my back. She's got a lot of urticating hairs on the abdomen. If she were to use her rear legs and scrape those hairs off her abdomen, they'd get into my skin, cause great irritation. So I'm just going to let her go.
Night is when the Goliath is most active. But for these ambush predators, hunting means lying in wait. the entrance to her burrow, she lays down a silk welcome mat. It acts like a tripwire, letting her know when something has ventured within range. Even with 8 eyes, Goliaths, like most spiders, have weak vision. They're alerted to the presence of prey by vibrations rippling across their sensitive hairs. It's only a matter of time before some hapless creature, like this floor mouse, wanders too close and brushes against the silk. It's like ringing a dinner bell. It may be the biggest, scariest spider in the rainforest, but a tarantula can be a fragile thing. It has a rigid external skeleton, so in order to grow larger, it must shed the old skeleton to make way for a new one. The process is called molting. This Chaco golden tarantula is about to molt. Flipping over on its back makes the process easier. During the molt, the spider is immobile, defenseless, and extremely vulnerable. Its new skeleton has grown under the old one, complete in every detail, with new urticating hairs and even a new set of fangs. They look shiny and sharp, but they're still too soft to use as weapons. Flexing its muscles, the spider forces the old skeleton to separate from the new one. Finally, the outer layer expands until it splits open. Now the spider can wriggle out of its shell and leave it behind. For the next few days, the tarantula will have to be especially careful. Until its new skeleton hardens, it'll be at risk from all sorts of hungry neighbors. This male woolly tarantula is also at risk, but not because he just molted. He's found a female, a potential mate. But if he's not careful, she could kill him. Like other spiders, female tarantulas often try to devour their mates. Tarantula courtship resembles mortal combat more than a ritual of love, as the male struggles to avoid the female's fangs. Finally, he transfers a package of sperm with his pedipalps, the 2 appendages near his mouth. Once that's done, he beats a very swift retreat. The female will stay by her burrow, and when she lays her eggs, she'll use his sperm to fertilize them. Her brood will consist of hundreds of spiderlings. Mark Simich takes care of even more spiders than that. Mark is an avid collector who shares his home just outside Los Angeles with close to 1,000 tarantulas.
If you're a collector, no matter what you collect, CDs, art, one thing begets the next. So with these, there's over 800 species, so there's so many to collect that all have different color phases, they have different characteristics, they do different things from different parts of the country, and you just can't help it. You know, just one thing leads to the next. So naturally, you end up with this.
Mark is part of a growing subculture, people who keep tarantulas as pets. Tarantula dealers do a